Micromotor Madness. Scale down, drive big.
All right, guys, welcome back to Micromotor Madness. Today we're tackling a problem that every Hobby Plus and Eazy RC mini crawler owner has probably faced at some point. That tiny 1mm hex pin. Yep, the one that limits you when you want to throw on all the cool aftermarket hex hubs that are out there. Our guinea pig today, like you saw in the thumbnail, is the Eazy RC Glacier. Stock, it runs a 1mm pin hex shaft, but we're going to mod it to accept a 1.5mm pin so we can unlock way more options. Let's get into it. The Glacier axles, and honestly all the 1/18 Eazy RC crawlers, are just way too narrow. It's like they slapped 1/24 axles under a 1/18 body. The stance looks skinny, tucked inside the body, and a little off proportion. Not my style at all. So finding a set of hex extensions isn't just an upgrade for this rig, it's a must to fix the look. I went hunting for options and came up empty. I even tried some aftermarket SCX24 hex extensions with a 1.5mm pin. They worked for a while. But here's the problem. The hex is oversized for that 1mm pin, so it wobbles inside the wheel, loosens the nut, and boom, there goes your wheel mid-drive. Not fun, trust me. That's when Hobby Plus came to the rescue with the Evo Pro, rocking a 10mm plastic hub extension on a 1mm pin. Finally, a clean solution to widen those axles. Now, to add more weight on the axles, since I've slightly raised the car, I wanted to run the same hex hubs in brass. But here's the choice I had. Stick with the old 1mm pin version, or grab the new 1.5mm hexes that just came out for the Evo Pro Juice Up and all CR18P, V2, and V3 rigs. I went with the new 1.5mm hexes, mainly because they're only $13 compared to $22 for the older 1mm pin sets. It's a financial choice. I need several pairs for multiple rigs, so I'd rather save some money. Plus, I've never broken a 1.5mm pin, and I can't say the same for the 1mm ones, and honestly, I think Hobby Plus won't even offer 1mm pins anymore in their future RTRs. So yeah, saving money, stronger pins, and more stability. That's why I made the switch. And the purpose of this video is to show you exactly how to convert any rig that's still running axles with a 1mm pin hex opening. Let's fire up the Dremel. As you can see, I'm using a small cordless Dremel. I picked it up for 23 bucks, and it's perfect to take anywhere. It's not super powerful, but gets the job done for this kind of work, and really for most of the sanding and cutting we do in this hobby. Now, I'm widening the hole, and honestly, that doesn't scare me. On Micromotor Madness, we like to take it slow, make sure the first time feels just right, but I always go gradually to break things in. Every now and then, I test with a 1.5mm hex pin to see if it slides in. If not, I keep going a little more until it's the perfect fit. The goal is a hole exactly the size of 1.5mm. In the end, we're only cutting about 0.5mm of material. It's a job that has to be done slowly, don't rush it. If you try to force it or go too fast, you'll end up ruining your axle. Once you've drilled it out, you'll have metal dust everywhere. Clean that up. quick reminder, this is the key to making the mod work. The idea is simple. Widen the stock 1mm shaft hole just enough to fit a 1.5mm pin. No slop, precision only. Go slow, test fit constantly. If the pin wiggles too much, you've gone too far. For context, this isn't just about the Glacier. Pretty much all 1/18th scale Eazy RC rigs run the same setup. Plus most of the Hobby Plus lineup like the CR24, CR18, and CR18P. But heads up, the CR18 with portal axles have thinner shafts and are already sloppy, so this mod can make them a bit weaker. I'd say stick to Eazy RC and other Hobby Plus models with straight axles for best results. For the CR18P, you don't even need to bother with this mod. Just grab a set of stub axle shafts that already use 1.5mm pins, the ones made for the Juice Up that Hobby Plus is selling right now on their official site.
Micromotor Madness! We ride! We climb! Let's drill!
Now that all four corners of the rig's axles are ready for their brand new hex pins, it's time to give the brass hexes a little tune-up of their own. Just a quick adjustment before we get to the fun part, mounting up those wheels. For more information about the parts I used, where to buy them at the best price, and all the details, just drop your questions in the comments and I'll be more than happy to answer. I love helping you guys out, so don't be shy.
Micromotor Madness! We ride!
Now, before installing the brass hex, I like to sand the backside just a hair, about 0.2mm, so it doesn't rub against the axle bearings. Smooth and free spinning, that's the goal.
Sand it flat, brash, shine through. 60 grits, moving true. Long wheelbase, steady stance. Wider axles, more confidence. Let's sand.
After sanding with the Dremel, I finish up by hand with some 60 to 80 grit sandpaper. That gets the surface perfectly flat. No rubbing, solid performance, and a good chunk of extra weight down low. Between widening the axle shafts and sanding the hex hubs, I'd say it's about a 40-minute job, start to finish. Safety first, guys. Mask and safety glasses are a must. If a mask blocks viruses, trust me, it blocks steel dust too. Now that our hex hubs are nicely sanded, it's time to prep the new 1.5mm pins for installation on the axle shafts. But before we move on, let me show you a few rigs where we've already done the same mod. For reference, I've already run this exact mod on my handmade Camp Slayer chassis, rocking a first-gen Hobby Plus transmission and some old CR18 straight axles I had lying around after tearing down the Harvest. I also did the 1.5mm pin conversion on the front axle of the Bronx. That was its final upgrade after a new paint job and going brushless. Same result, no rubbing, solid performance, and plenty of extra weight down low. And you'll be seeing those rigs soon here on the channel. Now, onto the Glacier. Once all four are done, it's time for the fun part, mounting them up.
Let's drill, let's sand.
I went with DJ crawler rims. Classic look, light but stylish. Paired them up with Injora Swamp Stomper tires, 63 by 24 millimeters. Since these wheels only weigh about 29 grams each, and I lifted this rig, that's exactly why I decided to swap out the 10mm plastic extenders for brass ones. That adds an extra 13 grams per corner, giving way more stability on side inclines. Since we extended with longer hex hubs, the stock nuts can't properly tighten the wheels. That's why I swapped them out for long 4.5mm M2.5 nuts from Injora, the ones intended for the TRX 4M. To test the flex on this rig, I'm stacking up 3 DJ crawler tires, each 27 centimeters wide, for a total height of 81 centimeters. Check out that flex. Those $11 AliExpress shocks needed a little tuning, but with stiff springs up front and softer ones in the rear, they perform way above their price tag. And here's the star of the show, a Hobby Plus 2-speed gearbox with servo shifting. I actually did this conversion before the FCX 18K10 even came out. It fits and runs so smoothly you'd think it came straight from the factory, but nope, that's pure custom madness right here. And just for curiosity, since it's been sitting right here in front of you the whole time, this little Jeep Rubicon is a project I built completely using the 1/25th die-cast scale Revel body. I kept the body and tried to preserve all the details, the interior and everything, and we painted it with Tamiya Military Green.
Perform this Jeep won't sleep. Scale down power, 125B so
When you pull the body off, which is held on with magnets, you'll find a full brushless setup with a small outrunner motor running through a CR24 gearbox. I also used CR24 axles and modified suspension links to make it all work. This crawler has a 95mm wheelbase, and it's actually the smallest build we've ever done here on the channel. You'll see the full detailed video of this build later. So here it is, the Glacier reborn as a Chevy K10, chrome bumpers, chrome mirrors, Chevy badging, way better than that plain stock grille. It crawls smoother, looks tougher, and honestly, I'm loving this transformation. Let's roll some clips so you can see it in action.
built it strong, long wheelbase ride. Axles wide, got that stable stride. On the rocks, it stands so tall. Micromotor madness, we conquer it all. Micromotor madness, we ride, we roll, we climb. Let's go! It's a beast in motion. Custom rigs built with devotion. Micromotor madness. We ride, we roll, we climb. Let's go. Let's ride. Micromotor madness. Micromotor madness. Micromotor madness.
On Micromotor Madness, we don't just pump out unboxings or product placement videos. We stay true to our passion, sharing the real values of this hobby. Tips, DIY projects, and full custom builds made from spare parts and raw ideas. It's a ton of work, research, filming, and editing, but that's what makes it worth it. So if you enjoyed this build and want to support us so we can keep bringing you this kind of content, hit that like button and subscribe to Micromotor Madness. Drop a comment and let us know what you think of this 1mm to 1.5mm hex pin conversion. We've got tons more mods lined up, and trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. Thanks for watching, and as always, keep crawling and stay mad with Micromotor Madness. See you next time. Subscribe, like, and ring that bell. See you in the next one.